Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's lesson. This is DG Makes Math Easy. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe. If you are not, go ahead and share. And if you have always been here, thank you for the support and thank you for coming to learn. All right, so today we'll be looking at a very simple topic, finding missing angles in a triangle. And of course, this is not just a topic for C6 students, but you can just go ahead and share with students grade 7, 8, 9, whatever. All right, just share with your friends and you can always continue to share our other videos as well. All right, so today we're looking at one thing in essence, which is to find the size of missing angles in a triangle, or calculate. So first of all, of course, we need to know what is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. What do I mean by interior? What do I mean by interior? That simply means inside. So when you think of sum of the angles inside a triangle, how much would that be? I'm hoping you already know it and you can put it in the comment below. I'm just giving you 5 seconds to go ahead and do that if you know the sum of the angles in a triangle. All right, and it's coming up on screen any moment now. All right, so the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. All right, what exactly do we mean? Let's just be clear. If I know the size of this angle, or second angle and or third angle, and I add them all up, my answer should be 180 degrees. All right, so let's get straight to it. We want to calculate the size of the angle that we don't know in this triangle, which obviously is x. What do we know about the angles in a triangle? We just said it. The sum of all these angles should be 180 degrees. Repeat that to yourself. The sum of all the angles inside should be 180 degrees. And that's plain English, and we're going to just write it down mathematically. All right. And if you know me, you know I'm always promoting the fact that you must have a great understanding of English to be able to understand what most math questions are saying to you. All right, so here we go. The sum of all three angles is 180 degrees. And that's it. We have written it mathematically. So let's go now. We are going to just solve this equation. And I hope that you are really good at solving equations. So here we go. 45 plus 70. That is going to be 115 degrees. So we have x plus 115 degrees. And that gives us, and that is still equal to 180 degrees. All right, we are going to continue solving, which means I just want to find the value of x. So I'm going to subtract 115 degrees from this side. And if I do that to one side of the equation, I must do it to the other side. Here we go. That gives 0. So on our left-hand side, we have x is equal to 180 minus 115 will give us 65 degrees. All right, and you don't want to leave off your degree sign. So that would be it. I hope you are taking notes. We are just going to move to another question. Very similar. All right, we know two of the angles, 32 degrees and 28 degrees. One we don't know, and if you don't know it and there's not a letter given, you can name the angle if you want to. So let's say we call this angle P. So that is going to be P plus 28 degrees, and it doesn't matter the order in which you write these angles. Plus 32 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Again, we are trying to find P, so we are just going to solve the equation to find P. All right, here we go. 28 plus 32 gives us 60 degrees. So we have P plus 60 equals 180 degrees. Subtracting 60 from both sides, we now have P to be equal to 120 degrees. So pretty simple. If you are finding it pretty simple, You can go ahead and let me know in the comments if, yeah. All right, so this is one way of, using equations to help you to find these missing angles. Now, as you can see, I've made a note there that this is an isosceles triangle. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? An isosceles triangle, we know that it has two sides that are equal in length, and generally the question would come with those two strokes. So it tells you that the two sides that have that same thing on it will be equal. And naturally, if two sides in a triangle are equal, if the lengths of both sides are the same, then we also have two angles that are equal. That would be these two angles here. So already we know that these two angles are equal. Therefore, this one is 67 degrees. And if you had named it, let's say A, you would simply say A is equal to 67 degrees. You would not need to show workings. If you are told to write a reason, then you state that it's because it's an isosceles triangle. All right, now we have one final angle to find. Let's just call it D. Same principle. We know that all three angles should add up to 180 degrees. All right, we do know that A is 67 degrees, so we put that in. All right, and using the equation is a really, really neat way of keeping your work together. The teacher understands exactly what you're saying, and it's obvious that you know what you are saying on the paper. All right, so we have 67 plus 67, and that gives us 134 degrees. So we have D plus 134 degrees equals 180 degrees. And so we will now, let me just change the ink here a bit, subtract 134 degrees. Great. From both sides, and so we now have D to be 46 degrees. Pretty simple. All right, here we have a triangle that says one of the angles is 110 degrees and the other two angles measure X. Now, the fact that both angles are represented by the same letter, right? We know then that we are being hinted that both of these angles are equal. All right, now the question could have also come with just the two strokes instead of showing you that both angles are equal. All right, but by using the letter X. So it could have been either. We just go ahead now and we write down again the fact that all three angles add up to give us 180 degrees. All right, which means this is now 2x, x plus x is 2x plus 110 degrees equals 180 degrees. We will subtract 110 degrees from both sides. And so we have 2x is equal to 70 degrees. We are not done because we have not found the value of x. So you continue solving until you have found the value of x, which would be 35 degrees. So this means that each of those angles measure 35 degrees. You can always check your work. So 110 plus 35 plus 35. Does that really give me 180 degrees? Yes, it does. So you know that you are correct. And this is a similar triangle. And I've just added this one to show you that, again, if the angles are not named, you can go ahead and name them yourself. All right. This one is pretty similar to the one that we just did. All right, so you should find as well that the size of each angle is 28 degrees. And this is our final question together. So for this one, we have we have one angle measuring 31 degrees. We have another angle that we also know. We are being hinted here that we know two of the three angles. If you notice, we have a right angle here, and so that would be 90 degrees. So you do know two of the angles. All right, let's call this one y. So now we have y plus 90 degrees plus 31 degrees, which should give us 180 degrees. Y plus 121 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, let me get that right. All right, and if we subtract 121 degrees from both sides, then we should end up with y being 59 degrees. That's it for the questions we will do together. And this one is for you. You can go ahead and write the answer in the comments, as long as you got this one. Write the answer in the comments and I'll tell you if you're correct. All right, don't forget to share so that, yep, we all can benefit and do well. All right, it's goodbye from DG Makes Math Easy. See you in our next episode.